you said you felt so happy you could die.
You want your freedom.
Told myself that you were right for
It's only
me.
right
Felt so lonely in your
that
company.
you should play
That
the
was
way
love
you
and isn't me,
see.
'cause still
But
remember.
listen carefully.
Oh, thunder only happens when it's raining.
Make it like it never happened.
Players only love
All right. So, all right. So, yeah. So, Kamala Harris has shown herself to be a true leader. Um, she has shown herself to be the bigger person. And I don't know. I hope people have learned their lesson in withholding their vote. I hope people have learned their lesson that fascism is not a game. Fascism is nothing to be trifled with. Fascism is, uh, you know, you get what you vote for, or you get what you don't vote for. How about that? People who tried to withhold their vote from, you know, from Kamala Harris and thinking they were going. See, here's the crazy part. People think they were going to punish Kamala Harris. They thought they were going to punish Kamala Harris with their vote. And couldn't be furthest from the truth. Kamala Harris is literally living her best life, people. She is living her best life. Kamala Harris has been on a book tour. She's gotten plenty of rest. She is refreshed. Who is not doing well? Who is not doing well? That would be us, the American people. You know, and I have to separate Kamala Harris from we the people because she's not on our level. She's been in government. She's been in all three branches of government. Literally, all three branches of government. She's put in her time. She's put in the work. I mean, she could retire now if she wanted to, and she would be just fine. So, who did the voters actually punish? Think about this. Who did the voters actually punish? They punished themselves. They punished themselves, is what they did. You know, good job. Good forward thinking, everyone. So you had the pro-Palestinian movement who said, well, we're going to withhold our vote or we're going to vote third party. How did that vote work out for you? Where's Jill Stein today? Can anybody tell me where Jill Stein is? Jill Stein is non-communicado. So 1935 emergency meeting in Germany, 2025 emergency military meeting in America. Yeah, that is, I still don't have all the skinny on that. It makes me wonder about that. It makes me wonder what that meeting was about. I mean, everybody, I heard a lot of people making jokes about how, 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 how Pete Hegseth, drunk Seth, Kegseth, how he drunk dialed all the military commanders to show up at a meeting that he has no. Once he sobers up, once he sobers up, what is he going to say during that meeting? But I think it's a lot deeper than that, and it's quite sad. It's quite sad that we have an authoritarian state and hardly anybody in the military standing up. That's what you need to be really concerned about. Nobody in the military is really standing up. There have been a few. There have been a few. There have been a few retirees from the military, but everybody seems to be cowed into silence. That tells you we're not slouching towards fascism. We are in it. We're in fascism. And it's time to wake it's time to wake the hell up. Oh my goodness. What else did we talk about? Let's see. Oh, the rapture happened. Anybody catch the rapture? Rapture or ruptured? Either one. did, did you all was everybody in time for the rapture? Let me see if I can. I wish I could. Let me see here. Let me see if I can find a good rapture background. Oh yeah, there we are. Well, can you imagine getting raptured and you're on the toilet? You're mid shit, and and all of a sudden Jesus comes. What happens after that? I mean, it's kind of awkward, isn't it? So here's a graphic of a woman with the toilet paper levitating to the skies. The angels are there to greet her, and it's like, oh, should we come back some other time? I don't know. I tell you what, these psychopath Christians, I don't know what is going through their mind. They honestly think they're getting a free ticket out of here after they've fucked up and screwed around and screwed up the world in which they live. And I'm talking about through their actions, through their vote, everything. And they're Christians are the ultimate nihilists, I think. They are the ultimate nihilists. They think that they're just going to get a free ticket out of here. We can screw around, we can cause climate change, doesn't matter. Yeah, it brings the true meaning of portal potty. Yeah, no shit. No shit. Yikes. Yikes. And they think it doesn't matter what they do, what they say. We're just going to get a free ride out of here, and nothing will matter. Everyone else can suffer. We're going to get a free ticket to heaven. We're going to be living life. We're going to be chilling with our Savior. And fuck the rest of you. You guys can all die in the rapture. I mean, these guys, and just watching their videos, watching them talk about getting raptured, watching them talk about just this yearning of wanting things to end, wanting to be gone. This is why people say that these people they're just really they do society no good. Religious psychosis. That's what I've been marked safe from. Someone suggested we should make a bunch of blow-up dolls, fill them with helium and release them and watch the people lose their minds thinking they missed the rapture. Yikes. Yay! Anyway. Yeah, wouldn't that be hilarious? It would be funny if it wasn't so sad, because these same people have children at home. These same people have little kids that are depending on them, and they're watching their parents break down in real time, literally have psychotic breaks with reality. And I just can't help but, it's like, man, you want to do a rescue mission for those kids. You want to get those kids out of here. I heard rumors of one mother turned her kids into Child Protective Services. I haven't gotten confirmation on that yet, so allegedly, okay? And so, yeah, I mean, that would actually be the merciful thing to do. If you are going to be that kind of person, if you're going to be that kind of person that is, just deranged, number one, completely divorced from reality, you need to, maybe the best thing to do is to turn your kids in. Turn them into proper authorities so that they can be looked after and cared for, because you are not mentally equipped. Especially if you have family members that are of the same delusions. Yeah, maybe extended family is not the best place for your kids. But yeah, it's just gross. It's gross what we put our kids through. It's gross what we, put through our delusions and our just gross thinking. Can you imagine? I mean, I grew up in a fundamentalist church. I still have flashbacks from, being traumatized from the rapture. I was afraid of missing the rapture. That was one of my fears. That's what I feared. Because if you miss the rapture, you know that there's judgment coming. That you're going to be living through hell on earth. I can't imagine what kids are going through today. I mean, not to mention the anti-vaxxerism that they're subjected to, and the political disinformation they're being subject to, and then you put religious dogma on top of it. It's like a poison stew. All right, the next topic we talked about was pilgrims to groypers. Pilgrims to groypers. You wouldn't think this was a thing, but there is actually a through line between the groyper alt-right movement and the pilgrims. There's so many similarities, so many, there's so much connective tissue between these two groups, more than we like to think. When we think about the pilgrims, when you think about pilgrims and groypers, let's look back at the history. Pilgrims were from where? They were from England. Okay, they were excommunicated. They were kicked out of the English church, the Church of England to be exact, and they started their own paramilitary group. They literally tried to take over England. They literally fought against England because they thought England was losing its way. It wasn't Christian enough. It wasn't fundamentalist enough. It wasn't harsh on sinners enough. So they literally raised up arms against their own country. They lost, and they were basically told to get the fuck out. And so guess where the pilgrims went to? They went to Holland. While they were in Holland, they experienced so much religious freedom. They were actually afraid they would lose their children to the decadent lifestyle of the Dutch. And so from Holland, they went right back to England. From England, they got ships and sailed to the New World, as it were. I mean, you want to talk about what the pilgrims put their children through, the traumatization of their belief system, the psychosis that they put their children through. It is unbelievable. And people want to talk about the asylum seekers that come to our southern border, and they want to point fingers and say, look at what they're putting their kids through. They're putting their kids in danger. It's like, yeah. And then we look back at our history and we look at the pilgrims, and no one bats an eye. No one mentions the pilgrims in their vitriol. But I mean, the groyper movement and the pilgrims, there's so much connective tissue, so much, it's just uncanny. It's just wild. And no one wants to talk about that. But these people, the pilgrims, were a deranged group of people. I saw a video on the Salem witch trials, and basically they what they did was they used transcripts of court cases to kind of build the movie. It was early 2000s, I think it was, and these people were out of their mind. They literally convinced their children that there were demons that were trying to attack them and afflict them. And these children were just wrapped up in this psychosis that they started accusing each other of witchcraft. They started hanging their own members, the members of their own group. They were hanging members for witchcraft. And it got so out of hand that I think the governor had to come in and just completely shut it down, because it was madness. It was literally turning into a Jonestown scenario. And it got to the point where everybody was trying to outdo the other in their piety, in their just trying to connect to God, and trying to confess their sins and just be the most repentant Christian. And it also parallels the MAGA movement. Everyone's trying to out MAGA the other person. Have you noticed that within the cult of Trump, they're trying to outdo each other in their devotion to Trump and Trumpism? It's like our thinking has not evolved very far, has it? Our thinking has not gone very far, as far as, our thought processes. Do we value facts? Do we value knowledge? Do we value truth? Or only do we value what makes us feel good and what, I guess, how do I call it? What reinforces our belief systems. So this was an awesome show we did throughout the week, from the Pilgrims to the Groyper movement. And it's like, it is. And what's interesting about the Groyper movement is they have gotten so anti-woman. They've gotten so hateful to women that women will not even go near them. And so what they have to do is they groom other members of the Groyper group, and they pick out the ones that are the most feminine, that have the most feminine-like traits, and they groom them to be transsexual. And it's just, it is so gross. It has nothing to do with the LGBTQ plus community at all. These are sick, twisted individuals who are just desperate to be accepted within their own group. So they're literally grooming young boys to be, the female counterpart to these Groypers. And it's fascinating and sick to watch. I had no idea. This was going on since 2019. I had no idea. I'm just finding out about this 6 years later. Yay! But yeah, these are sick, twisted fucks. But anyhow. Oh, another subject we did was trash at the Trash Memorial. Remember the Charlie Kirk Memorial? Remember the memorial service that they had for Charlie Kirk, and they were going to remember him and send him off? It was such a shit show. It was so goddamn awful. And I'm not even going to talk about the ceremony itself. Let's talk about all of the trash left behind. I've got several pictures on YouTube. We're live on YouTube right now, so if you look up Skeptically Speaking, you'll find us there. Oh God, they literally trashed the place. There's just a mile long. They had to bring in city workers to clean this up. It's just gross. This is how they venerate. This is how they celebrate the life of one of their cult leaders. Is they just leave trash. It's like a Trump rally. You remember those old pictures of the Trump rally? Afterwards, you just see trash everywhere, and then Trump would skip out on the bill. He wouldn't pay for the bill to host his Klan rally there, so the city had to pick up the tab, and then the city had to pick up